This all started when I worked in the industry, of drugs industry in Blackpool, and I worked with people who had been homeless, who were struggling with their addiction, and I basically asked them why they'd relapsed. After a period of perhaps abstinence, they'd relapsed. And there was basically 4 main subjects that came out of that, and that is what we've tried to address at Mulberry. We took the issue of poor housing, because nobody wants to house an addict in decent accommodation. It was total boredom, staring at 4 walls and a ceiling permanently. It was mixing with the same people that they were in their addiction with earlier, and it was the fact that they couldn't get a job. Nobody wants to employ an ex-addict. So we took those 4 issues and we built Mulberry around that. The second house that we took over from Green Pastures, when I first saw it, I didn't want it because it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But Green Pastures took that on board, and they spent an absolute fortune on it basically. They put central heating in it, they redecorated it, they did this, they did that, and it's actually now a house where we have a waiting list for. I mean, that speaks volumes of its own, really, doesn't it?
My name's Mikey. I ended up here about 3 months ago. Brief story is a 10-year heroin addiction back in Nottingham. I ended up going to rehab in Lancaster for 8.5 months. Then after that I went into supported housing down there. And then I ended up here in Blackpool at the Mulberry House project. The best thing about the Mulberry Housing project is it's given me a base because I'm in a new city and I've never been here before. It gives me a chance. I can stay here as long as I want, so it gives me a chance to build up a support network. It gives me the chance to explore a new city and get the support that I need from being in a new city.
I would like to see us build up another 4 houses in the next 5 years to expand what we're doing, because there's a waiting list. I now have a waiting list, which shows the need of Blackpool. I'd like to fulfil that need. I'd like to keep more people off drugs, off drink, give them the power to do so under their own steam. I'm passionate.
If there's people that do want to run a house like this, I think go for it, because there is people out there that really need it, and speaking for me, if it wasn't for places like this, then I don't know where I'd be now. So I think it'd be incredibly beneficial for people in recovery, and I think that you should at least inquire about it if you've got a passion for it.